I told everyone who watched this channel, everyone who's watched me on the Football Terrace or whatever channel you find me on, players like Xavi Simons, Hugo Ekitike, Viktor Gyokeres, give them time. Don't be so quick to immediately judge them, etc., this and that. Give them a good few months. Viktor Gyokeres has just scored 2 very, very important goals, which fires Arsenal 9 points clear. Aston Villa drew 1-1 against Bournemouth, and Manchester City play Liverpool tomorrow, in which is a fixture where Guardiola has only won 1 of his last 9 meetings, which I believe was a 4-3 win. I don't see Man City winning tomorrow. What I do see happening is what I've been calling all this season. Just like last season, all I called was Liverpool will win the Premier League. I am calling it right now, as well as I've been saying it probably since October, that Arsenal will win multiple honours. Viktor Gyokeres, 2 goals. And that Havertz-Gyokeres link-up, if Arteta plays this right, I don't see Martin Odegaard getting back in his position for a number of games, because Kai Havertz has came in back to this 11 from his injury and looks very, very good. Very, very, very good. And what's really, really interesting is Arsenal today, yet again, reduced a decent side to under 3 or under 4 shots on target. They reduced them to 0.17 XG. It's another clean sheet. It's another 3 points, and they're 9 points clear. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and you let me know your thoughts. We are steamrolling our way towards 100,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, get over to the second channel and check out the post-match reaction on Man United 2, Tottenham 0. It's just a bad day. It really, really is. We're under 500 subscribers away from 89,000. So please go down as you're watching right now. If you haven't already and you're debating it, go down and hit that subscribe button while we break down Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0, in which was a very dominant performance from Arsenal. And I think first 60-odd minutes or so, I think that Sunderland can probably give a good account of themselves. You know, we'll get on to the Robbie, is it a red card? Because I don't see a huge amount of difference between Robbie's challenge and Christian Romero's, but we'll get on to that in a minute. David Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori is the best back line in Europe right now. I'll have that debate with absolutely anyone, but it's more important on that. It's the squad depth that they have got to come in. You've got, midweek, whether you're playing League Cup, whether you're playing Champions League, Nkapie, Ben White, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Mosquera, these type of players can come in and give those a rest. And that centre-back partnership, if Arsenal do go on to win the league, which they probably will, it's very, very likely at this moment in time, Gabriel and Saliba, Arteta has got to thank those two so much, because they're they know each other's games very well. You know, what you saw today from Romero, you don't see that from Gabriel. You rarely see that from Saliba. What you saw from that situation earlier with Robbie, you don't see that from Arsenal forwards. The mentality is changing in this Arsenal team. And I have been saying this for some time. Last season, the season before, and the season before that, when Arsenal finished second, it's almost, and I know this phase narrative goes around, but if you buy into that phase narrative, they should have won the league in this time. But what they could do this year could be better than winning the league title last year, because they could potentially do a treble. Like, it's very likely right now that Arsenal win the League Cup and win the league as a bare minimum. Last year, they got to the Champions League semi-final. They've already beaten Atletico Madrid. They've already beaten Bayern Munich. They've already beaten Inter Milan. These are 3 of the top 11 teams in the Champions League. Like, and I know people say knockout football's different, but going on what we've seen this season from Arsenal, some of their best football's been in Europe. So why can't they go and win the Champions League? What does this Arsenal team lack? Because people say, oh, yeah, but, for instance, I'll give you an example, right? People say, but our highest goal scorer has only got 7 goals. I said the same with Man United earlier, by the way. Go and check that out on the second channel. When I look at this Arsenal team, every single player other than David Raya is capable of being involved in goals. Every single player. Declan Rice has got plenty of assists this season. Gabriel is one of the highest scoring centre-backs in the league. Madueke's got big and important goals in the Champions League. So has Trossard. Havertz, since coming back, has been very, very good. Jesus got a couple of goals against Inter Milan. Gyokeres got a couple of goals today. You look at the bench they've got as well, before we even get into the match reaction. 2 of their attackers come on and get 3 goal contributions between them. Like, look at the depth they've got. Eberechi Eze, who starts for pretty much every team in the league when he's the Eze we know he can be, he starts for every team in the league. Maybe you could argue City. That's it. Nketiah starts for every team in the league as a left back. Arsenal's backup left back, other than maybe Cucurella, is better than every other left back in the league. That's what we're talking about. Martinelli this season has been ridiculous in the Champions League. Can he convert that to the Premier League? He doesn't necessarily need to, because right now they're 9 points clear. Look at the players that were out today as well. Saka, Marino, and Martin Odegaard. 3 big and important players. And it was Zubimendi, who was massively criticised in the Man United game, today gets another goal. And that's 5 goals and 1 assist for him today. This season. Oh, wait, if he got 5 goals, that would have been unbelievable. But he got 5 goals and 1 assist in the Premier League this season. Very, very, very good. Outside of the boot finish, you take that every single day of the week. But the man of the moment comes off the bench, Gyokeres. And this link up between Havertz and Gyokeres is what I think Arsenal need to play for the foreseeable future in their matches against Brentford, in their match against us, in their match against Wolves. Because Arsenal have still got 4 games left this month, which is ridiculous, isn't it, to be honest with you, when the rest of us have only got 2 or 3 because of their cup final. They've moved the Wolves game forward. Like, they've got 4 games in 10 days against Brentford, Wigan, Wolves, and Spurs. But their squad depth is so deep, I don't see anyone really being hugely concerned about that. Most people would think, 4 games in 10 days, we're going to be stretched here. They won't, because they've built an elite squad. You bring on Gyokeres on the hour mark. 7 minutes later, it's in the back of the net. Ball goes into Havertz, goes out on the 6-yard box, lays it back to Gyokeres, who kind of stumbles onto the floor and hits it straight into the back of the net. And I sat there and I thought, I wonder what people will be saying now. I wonder what people will be saying about Gyokeres, the slander names, because he's now got 8 goals in the league and he's now got 11 in an Arsenal shirt this season. Now, 11 in 31 isn't an unbelievable record by any stretch, but it's still early days. He could quite easily go on a run of games now and be ridiculous between now and the end of the season. He's got that ability. And then he gets another goal and you're thinking, right, okay, well, that's game, set, and match. Taps it into an empty net. And I look at the match stats today, and this is where the eye test people or data people prefer. 16 shots to 5. 5 shots on target to 3. They both created 1 big chance, but Arsenal took it. 1.22 XG. Every single metric, higher passing accuracy, more corners, more shots on target, more shots, more XG. Everything they deserved today was to get that win. And what's really interesting as well is there was a lot of pressure on that Arsenal team for the opening 60 minutes because Sunderland held a very good account of themselves. Sunderland deserve to stay in this Premier League because they don't fear going up against this team or going up against that team. They are where they are in the league for a reason. And they've got a good manager who's got them well drilled. And I personally believe that they comfortably deserve to be in this league. Brentford is the next match, which I believe is Thursday next week. 3 days later, they play in the Cup. You may see Max Dowman feature in that if he's back completely fully fit. Then they play Wolves. Then they play a North London derby. And then they've got Chelsea, Brighton, Everton. I mean, I don't see them dropping points. I don't. The toughest game in there for them is Chelsea in the North London derby. But the way we're playing right now, we're pretty much falling over left, right, and centre for everyone in our side. I don't see us doing anything, doing absolutely anything against that Arsenal team. I really, really don't. And that might be negative in some people's approach, but that's just me being honest. Does anyone actually see Tottenham going and doing something against that Arsenal team? Be real with me, because I don't. Huge, huge win for Arsenal. They have to keep it going. Since the Leeds United game, it's 3 games, it's 3 wins, it's 8 goals scored, and it's 3 clean sheets. Brentford won't be easy. Of course, they are playing very, very shortly against Newcastle United away, in which Bruno Guimaraes is back, and I do expect Newcastle United to get something out of that game. But on the basis of looking at these fixtures let's look at the February fixtures. I mean, Wolves United away, they lost comfortably to Chelsea today. Wolverhampton Wanderers away. Brentford, Wigan, and Spurs. I don't see them dropping a point. I really, really don't. And Mikel Arteta and all the players deserve huge, huge praise, because today they were by far the better team. They're by far the best team in the league. And it is what it is. I'll see you soon. Amen.